Well, of course, it's never easy to talk about, but honestly, our mortality is on a lot of people's mind during the pandemic. So one of your questions may be, what happens to my things when I'm gone, especially digitally? Joining us today is attorney Alexis Gardner to talk especially about digital property and ownership of that. Alexis, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
Well, I'm excited about this topic because I've read some articles about it and I've kind of done some research, and I think it's something that people may not realize because, of course, so many possessions that we have now are password protected. They're on our phones, they're on our devices, our pictures. So what do we need to be doing now to protect those things before, if something were to happen to us?
Well, the short answer is you need to have your password written down and give it to someone you trust. If you try to go through Apple, for instance, to get someone's iCloud information, they will not do it without a court order. So that means after someone has passed, if they have a will, you have to go through probate, which costs money, and then get a court order to present to Apple, and then they will give you the iCloud password. But for instance, for your phone password, they cannot give you that without completely destroying everything that's on the phone. So you could get that iPhone password, but there won't be anything on the iPhone.
So if you don't have that password written down and you go to Apple or Microsoft or Samsung or whatever and said, I really want in my dad's phone or my mom's phone, they will say no without a court order.
Absolutely. Privacy interests being protected and what have you.
Sure, boy, that's pretty harsh, but it's good to know to plan now. I mean, I know for me, Alexis, I've literally thousands of photos of my family in my accounts. I have all the passwords. So who owns those pictures? I mean, I took the pictures, put them on my phone, put them in a cloud account. Who owns the pictures?
Well, you have ownership in your pictures, but whatever the company is that's maintaining the pictures also has ownership. So they're not going to be inclined to just hand that over. The easiest way is just for someone to know your direct password. With things like Facebook and Instagram, they actually have a mechanism where you can designate an administrator for when you pass.
And that passes legal muster? Like if you say, hey, I designated this person on Facebook, that's legally good. You don't really need to do anything more.
Right.
And so in terms of giving your password to somebody, so if I'm trying to plan now, it's literally just writing it down and handing it to them or texting it to them. It doesn't need to be in a will or anything written in there about giving someone my password.
It's always a great idea to put something in a will, and it's always a great idea to have a will, and it's never too early to get one. However, again, with the will, you have to go through probate, and there's a lot of court things that happen, and it's much more complicated than if I just gave you my password and then you had it and could access it at your leisure without going through the courts.
So we wanted to talk about music as well, because over the years, if just let's say it's an iTunes account, Google Play, whatever company you want to pick, and my loved one has downloaded, let's just say thousands of songs. Who owns those songs? Can they pass them on in their music account, basically, their digital music account?
Similar to photos and everything else you keep on the cloud, yes, you can pass it on, but the company has ownership, and you don't have any ownership until the court has said you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then finally, just kind of a more open-ended, Alexis, any other advice you have for people out there who are trying to plan digital property, planning ahead, and just generally trying to make sure everything's in order, because these digital things, it's not like a safe. It's not like it's a secret hiding spot in our house where it's a physical. These are kind of intangible things.
Right. Well, just like with a cat or a car or anything that's important to you, write it down, have it memorialized, and have two independent witnesses that don't stand to benefit from the will sign off saying that you did this in your right mind and these were your wishes, and that way after the fact it'll be a smoother transition.
Well, Alexis Gardner, attorney here in Tulsa, we thank you so much for your time as always.
Always a pleasure to be here, Dave.